Competence. The ability to do something successfully or efficiently. Proficiency. Aptitude. Skillfulness. He reached a reasonable level of competence in his English. Typing is considered by most employers to be a basic competence. Less formally educated people can acquire professional competence. Eliminate. Completely remove or get rid of something. Eradicate. Exterminate. Remove. Providing job opportunities is one way to eliminate poverty. The government wants to eliminate corruption in the system. To save money, you should eliminate unnecessary expenses. Undergo. Experience something typically unpleasant or arduous. Endure. Experience. Withstand. He had to undergo surgery to cure the problem with his knee. He was ordered to undergo therapy for drug and alcohol abuse. New competitors must undergo training in their first 2 years. Evolution. The gradual development of living organism. Progression. Growth. Development. Natural selection is a key element of Darwin's theory of evolution. Evolution can explain the past, but it can never predict the future. In the course of evolution, some birds have lost the power of flight. Framework. An essential supporting structure of an object. Structure. Arrangement. Composition. It is hoped this document will provide a framework for discussion. The treaty would be administered through an institutional framework. These negative influences threaten the very framework of our society. Instinct. The way people or animals naturally react or behave. Intuition. Inclination. Tendency. The animal instinct shrinks and the wisdom becomes dominant. Tree climbing, or climbing in general, is a basic instinct for a cat. The bear's maternal instinct made her fight to the death to save her cub. Exotic. Not native to the place where found, or unusual. Peculiar. Outlandish. Unusual. The restaurant specializes in exotic meat dishes, including buffalo. They have traveled to all kinds of exotic locations all over the world. It was an exotic creature with long red hair and brilliant green eyes. Intimacy. A very special friendship or sexual relationship with. Comradeship. Attachment. Affection. Sex can be a way to express love and intimacy in a relationship. The wine created a sense of intimacy through their romantic dinner. The borderline between friendship and intimacy is often hard to define. Velocity. Speed in combination with the direction of motion. Speed. Swiftness. Movement. The velocity of the train made the journey shorter than expected. The escape velocity of a comet is much lower than that of a planet. A bullet goes from this gun with a velocity of 3,000 feet per second. Identical. Not different or not differing from one another. Equivalent. Corresponding. Alike. A coral reef is built by the accretion of tiny, identical organisms. The DNA samples were found to be identical to the suspects. The twins' fingerprints were found to be identical to each other. Milestone. A very important event in the development of something. Achievement. Objective. Achievement. At first, starting school is a milestone for both children and parents. The invention of the computer was a milestone in the history of man. Reaching the next milestone in success would require hours of hard work. Sluggish. Operating more slowly than usual and with less energy. Lazy. Inactive. Stagnant. The lack of sleep made him feel constantly tired and sluggish. When you eat badly, you may feel sluggish and low on energy. The sluggish market has caused a slowdown in economic growth. Mundane. Very ordinary and therefore not interesting. Ordinary. Humdrum. Tedious. Listening to the same story multiple times can seem mundane. A faithful companion can make even mundane tasks enjoyable. Imagination can help us find beauty in the ordinary and mundane. Abolish. Formally put an end to a system, practice, or institution. Eradicate. Destroy. Terminate. The government has pledged to abolish child poverty by 2030. Ceará was one of the first provinces of Brazil to abolish slavery. The council is having a meeting so that they can abolish outdated rules. Amplify. To increase the size or effect of something. Aumento. Intensify. Escalate. In science or engineering, we use instruments to amplify our senses. A funeral can amplify the feelings of regret and loss for the relatives. A manufacturer can amplify the demand for a product by advertising widely. Handy. To be good at using something, usually a tool. Useful. Convenient. User-friendly. Here are some handy hints on how to keep on the right track. First-time visitors to France will find this guide particularly handy. These rules come in especially handy for writing very large numbers. Fragile. Of an object easily broken or damaged. Weak. Feeble. Breakable. Increased breakdown of skin proteins makes the skin more fragile. The effects on the fragile desert ecosystem are still being felt today. Because of the extreme cold, the Antarctic is a fragile environment. Abrupt. Dealing with something in a quick way that is rude. Prompt. Quick. Immediate. Some transitions are more abrupt and therefore usually faster. They made an abrupt halt on the eastern bank of the River Annan. The site includes links to recent news articles on abrupt climate change. Generous. Freely giving or sharing money and other valuable things. Giving. Selfless. Benevolent. She is very generous. He often buys things for other people. He has a large, generous sympathy and absolute fairness of temper. The library has received a generous bequest from a local businessman. Dubious. Not certain and slightly suspicious about something. Doubtful. Questionable. Uncertain. He looked at me dubiously when I explained why I was late. A lot of the other issues raised certainly sound somewhat dubious. The seeming challenge comes from a fundamentally dubious analysis. Genuine. Truly what something is said to be, authentic. Honest. Rightful. Bona fide. He has always shown a genuine concern for poor people. If something is genuine, it is real and exactly what it appears to be. A hearty handshake or a friendly letter gives me genuine pleasure. Sociable. Willing to talk and engage in activities with other people. Friendly. Affable. Amicable. Working in remote areas is not a particularly sociable thing to do. He was a sociable guy who loved company and working with people. The sociable behavior of lions is considered atypical of the cat family. Optimistic. Believing that good things will happen in the future. confident, hopeful, sanguine. René's optimistic outlook could positively influence almost anyone. He remained strongly optimistic that an agreement could be reached. Bankers are cautiously optimistic about the country's economic future. Ordinary. With no special or distinctive features, normal. Regular, average, standard. The research project was ordinary, but it was well executed. The ordinary conversation can lead to unexpected discoveries. They can abstract precious medicines from ordinary substances. Obsolete. No longer produced or used, out of date. Antiquated, outdated, old-fashioned. The emergence of new technology can make old ones obsolete. So much equipment becomes obsolete almost as soon as it's made. With technological changes, many traditional skills have become obsolete. Reluctant. Not willing to do something, and therefore slow to do it. Unwilling, disinclined, resisting. If others remain reluctant, you may have to go on your own. Many parents feel reluctant to talk openly with their children. She had trouble sleeping but was reluctant to take sleeping pills. Diverse, including many different types of people or things. Different, various, manifold. The islanders of today live in a diverse and democratic society. These areas support diverse communities of birds and animals. India has always been one of the most religiously diverse countries. Potent. Having great power, influence, or effect. Powerful, vigorous, formidable. The drug is extremely potent but causes unpleasant side effects. The treaty requires them to get rid of their most potent weapons. Many of these factors seem to be especially potent in small children. Sparkling. Shining brightly because of reflected light. Bright, glowing, radiant. The sun's rays towards the water's surface created a sparkling effect. The beauty queen wore a sparkling crown as she waved to the crowd. Sparkling wines contain carbon dioxide, which creates heady bubbles. Approach. A way of dealing with a situation or problem. Reach. Proceed. Perhaps we should endeavor to approach our problem together. The company is taking a more robust approach to management. The local authorities' approach to healthcare seems totally haphazard. Hazardous. Implies great and continuous risk of harm. Dangerous. Risky. Perilous. It's important to put on a gas mask in hazardous environments. Dumping hazardous materials can cause serious health problems. A number of hazardous substances are resistant to biodegradation. Esteem. To respect someone or have a good opinion of them. Respect. Admiration. Appreciation. Self-esteem affects your abilities in all aspects and at all levels. Self-esteem and confidence naturally show in our body language. He was attentive but impersonal and esteemed rather than loved. Prohibit. Formally forbid someone from doing something. Forbid. Outlaw. Embargo. Some of these rules prohibit the misuse of inside information. America's law prohibits nuclear cooperation without an agreement. The legislature passed a law to prohibit the dumping of nuclear waste. Fortunate. Favored by or involving good luck, lucky. Lucky. Felicitous. Blessed. The old lady's fortunate enough to have very good health. It's always good to be fortunate to have a supportive family. The wealthy often look down upon those who are less fortunate. Particular. Individual means of or relating to one thing or class. Specific. Definite. Separate. Particular emphasis will be placed on oral language training. This particular stretch of coast is especially popular with walkers. Some research associations are often linked to a particular industry. Rescue. Save someone from a dangerous or difficult situation. Saving. Salvage. Release. The rescue team moved onward, towards the stranded hikers. The rescue crew saved the drowning swimmer from the ocean. The management is putting together a plan to rescue the company. Deceptive. Making you believe something that is not true. False. Misleading. Elusive. Her simple style is deceptive. What she has to say is very profound. It's a very deceptive place, just looks quite normal from the outside. The sea here is deceptive. It looks calm, but is in fact very dangerous. Abandon. To stop doing something before it is finished. Forsake. Renounce. Discard. People often simply abandon their pets when they go abroad. After careful deliberation, it was agreed to abandon the project. If disturbed, the bird may abandon the nest, leaving the chicks to die. Delicate. Not healthy and strong, and becomes ill easily. Intricate. Elegant. Graceful. He has always been attracted to very feminine, delicate women. Tourists often disturb the delicate balance of nature on the island. Cooking the vegetable so much destroys its wonderful delicate flavor. Engaging. Pleasant in a way that attracts your attention. Interesting. Attractive. Appealing. He had been engaging in some kind of kinky sexual activity. It needs fresh ideas and more engaging ways of expressing itself. The rendered movies are outstanding and the storyline is engaging. Parallel. Occurring or existing at the same time or in a similar way. Similar. Aligned. Side by side. She saw an obvious parallel with her sister's predicament. These beautiful African churches have no parallel in Europe. They spend little time together and often lead parallel lives. Considerate. Always thinking of other people's wishes and feelings. Caring. Helpful. Cooperative. The characters on the show are polite and considerate of each other. The considerate man held his umbrella over the elderly woman's head. His considerate neighbor brought him a pot of soup when he became ill. Heed. Pay attention to something, mainly advice or a warning. Listen. Pay attention to. Notice. You must heed the rules of the library when borrowing books. You need to heed the instructions when cooking a new recipe. It's important to heed the instructions when using a new tool. Adhere. To continue to obey a rule or have a belief. Comply. Hold fast. Stick. Because we have a signed contract, you must adhere to the terms. All members of the association adhere to a strict code of practice. The tiles may not adhere properly if you do not use the correct glue. Myth. An idea that is not true but is believed by many people. Story. Allegory. The propaganda of both sides relies heavily on historical myth. It's difficult to disentangle hard fact from myth, or truth from lies. We don't buy into the myth that money is the answer to everything. Erroneous. Describe something as mistaken and incorrect. Wrong, incorrect, mistaken. Her book tries to correct this erroneous view of ancient China. He holds to the erroneous belief that the moon is made of cheese. His economic predictions are based on some erroneous assumptions. Align. Place or arrange things in a straight line. Coordinate. Make parallel. Line up. Make sure to align your feet and knees properly to avoid injury. For more information on this product, please visit the Align website. The group does not want to align itself too closely with the government. Deter. To prevent someone from doing something. Deny access. Discourage. Stop. High prices are deterring a lot of young couples from buying houses. Arrests and jail sentences have done nothing to deter the protesters. He played an important role in international efforts to deter nuclear war. Prioritize. You treat it as more important than other things. Highlight. Focus on. Emphasize. Prioritize your relationship with your other hobbies and interests. The organization was formed to prioritize the needs of older people. The department has failed to prioritize safety within the oil industry. Anticipate. Preparation for something that you think will happen. Predict. Forecast. Apprehend. They anticipate moving to bigger premises by the end of the year. A good speaker is able to anticipate an audience's needs and concerns. Most people did not anticipate the scale of the expansion of the Internet. Fallacy. A misleading argument or belief. Delusion. Falsehood. Misconception. The supposition that all rich people are happy is a fallacy. The student's argument was challenged by a logical fallacy. Don't believe the common fallacy that money brings happiness. Anonymous. Having no known name or identity. Unidentified, unknown, unnamed. The anonymous message was sent from a fake account. The true identity of the anonymous donor is unknown. The anonymous survey was conducted to gather feedback. Tenacious. Tending to keep a firm hold of something. Determined. Unyielding. Persistent. Her tenacious spirit motivated her team to keep going. When faced with criticism, be tenacious and believe in yourself. Be tenacious in your pursuit of knowledge and personal growth. Diversity. Having many different forms, types, and ideas. Variety. Manifoldness. Multiplicity. There is a need for greater diversity and choice in education. Social anthropology is concerned with the diversity of culture. The new study will focus on the ethnic diversity of the nation. Inspection. Careful examination of something. Examination. Analysis. Observation. The farmer conducted a visual inspection of the crops. The inspection was conducted by a third-party company. The final inspection will confirm the safety of the building. Alliance. Union or association formed for mutual benefit. Agreement. Treaty. Association. The two countries formed an alliance to work together. The alliance between the two companies was beneficial. The cross-party alliance was successful in passing the bill. Liability. Being legally responsible for something. Responsibility. Onus. Accountability. Disowning liability can make you lose trust and friendships. Ignoring our liability can lead to great financial problems. They will not accept liability for any damage caused by accident. Verdict. Decision made by a jury in a trial. Resolution. Settlement. Judgment. The verdict was based on the law, and we agree with it. The judge's verdict was based on the facts of the case. Everyone gasped in surprise when the verdict was read out. Agenda. Things to be discussed at a formal meeting. Itinerary. Inventory. Program. The company's agenda was to launch a new product line. The travel agent has an agenda for the vacation package. The committee had a detailed agenda for their meeting. Pertinent. Relevant or applicable to a particular matter. Applicable. Relevant. Appropriate. The book offers pertinent advice for personal growth. The expert made some pertinent comments on the scheme. The last point is particularly pertinent to today's discussion. Adjacent. Very near, or with nothing in between. Adjoining. Nearby. Neighboring. The adjacent fields were used for growing different crops. The post office is adjacent to the bus terminal in the old town. On the map, adjacent countries are usually shown in different colors. Replica. An exact copy or model of something. reproduction, duplication, imitation. The museum has a miniature replica of a famous building. The artificial flower was a perfect replica of a real one. The history exhibition had a replica of an ancient temple. Migration. Movement from one region to another. Movement, departure, relocation. The bird's migration route covered thousands of miles. Culture can be influenced by migration and immigration. DNA can be used to trace ancestry and migration patterns. Distortion. The changing of the appearance of something. Deformation, falsification, deformity. The distortion of the statistics made the study unreliable. The reflection in the lake created a distortion of the trees. The politician's speech was filled with distortion and lies. Heredity. Genetic characters from parents to offspring. Genetics, ancestry, inheritance. Height can be influenced by genes that are in the heredity. The genetics laboratory is where we study DNA and heredity. The texture of your hair is primarily determined by heredity. Phobia. An extreme or irrational fear of something. Dread, obsession, detestation. A phobia can be triggered by a fear of animals or insects. A phobia can be a unique experience for each individual. School phobia is a common anxiety disorder among children. Vivid. Producing powerful feelings or clear images. Evocative, graphic, realistic. The writer backed up their story with vivid descriptions. The visual imagery in the book was vivid and descriptive. Figurative language can help you create vivid descriptions. Audacious. Willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. Intrepid, dauntless, fearless. The audacious student challenged the professor's theory. The audacious politician promised to change the system. The audacious artist created a controversial masterpiece. Lenient. Not as severe or strong in judgment. Moderate, forgiving, tolerant. The criminal sentence was seen as too lenient by some. The lawyer was able to get his client a lenient sentence. The judge was lenient on behalf of the defendant's young age. Ingenious. Having or showing practical wit or skill. Creative, innovative, Insightful. The athlete used an ingenious strategy to win the game. The inventor's ingenious idea helped solve the problem. The engineer's ingenious design made the bridge stronger. Myth. A widely held but false belief or idea. Fiction. Fantasy. Allegory. I tried to refute the myth, but people still believed it. The moral of the myth is to respect the power of nature. A myth can be passed down from generation to generation. Effortless. Requiring no physical or mental exertion. Easy. Straightforward. Undemanding. The previous experience made the job look effortless. The bird's ascent into the sky was graceful and effortless. The ballet dancer's light-footed movements seemed effortless. Adversity. A difficult or unpleasant situation. Misfortune. Hardship. Misfortune. We can use adversity as an opportunity to grow and learn. Adversity can make us more compassionate towards others. The team's unity helped them tackle adversity successfully. Diminish. To make less or cause to appear less. Decrease. Lessen. Decline. A lack of creativity and innovation can diminish potential. The amount of gas in the tank will diminish as you drive. Federalism is intended to diminish the power of the central state. Execute. Kill someone as a legal punishment. Carry out. Accomplish. Perform. The detective will execute his plan to catch the criminal. The pilot will execute the takeoff and landing of the plane. Our troops were able to execute the operation as planned. Barrier. Fence or other obstacle that prevents access. Barricade. Obstacle. Blockade. The barrier between the two oceans was a continent. The mountains are a natural barrier between countries. Misunderstanding due to the language barrier is common. Supervise. Direct, control, or be in charge of a work. Look after. Guard. Inspect. The tour guide will supervise the group during the tour. The school staffs are expected to supervise school meals. The security guard will supervise the visitors at the museum. Affiliate. A person or group officially attached to a larger body. Associate. Combine. Amalgamate. The car dealership is an affiliate of a well-known brand. The affiliate program offers a passive income opportunity. The affiliate marketing strategy involves promoting products. Embody. Express or represent an idea in suitable words. Epitomize. Symbolize. Manifest. She strives to embody excellence in everything she does. The book's theme is to embody excellence in all aspects of life. To be a successful leader, we must embody integrity and honesty. Articulate. Having or showing the ability to speak coherently. Fit together. Accentuate. Integrate. It's important to be able to articulate your opinion clearly. I need you to articulate your answer, so I can understand it. Don't rush your speech. Take your time to be more articulate. Retrieve. To regain or bring back something. Reclaim. Take back. Salvage. Computers can retrieve information in a matter of seconds. We can only retrieve the situation by reducing our expenses. You can retrieve files more efficiently with this new program. Optimize. Make the best possible use of something. Heighten. Elevate. Using study apps can optimize your learning experience. Let's optimize our love by showing kindness to everyone. We manage our time so that we optimize our productivity. Accelerate. To cause faster or greater activity. Quicken. Gain momentum. Boost. The boat will accelerate as it moves through the water. Destructive metabolism can accelerate the aging process. A train usually accelerates slowly because it is very heavy. Allocate. Distribute resources for a particular purpose. Conserve. Hoard. Reserve. I always allocate some time each day for exercise. You should allocate your energy wisely during exam week. The company will allocate funds to develop new products. Invigorate. Give new energy or strength to someone. Energize. Stimulate. Rejuvenate. Playing with pets can invigorate your love for animals. A good night's sleep can invigorate your body and mind. A new goal can invigorate your motivation and ambition. Superficial. Existing or occurring at or on the surface. Perfunctory. Shallow. Outermost. The student's essay was superficial and lacked research. Don't boast about your physical appearance. It's superficial. The artist's superficial artwork lacked depth and meaning. Robust. Having or exhibiting strength or vigorous health. Sturdy, durable, vigorous. A robust marketing strategy is a crucial business asset. The robust security measures capacitate data protection. The software program has a robust troubleshooting function. Malicious. Has an intention to cause harm or damage. Pernicious. Spiteful. Resentful. The malicious code spread rapidly through the network. The consequences of malicious gossip can be devastating. The website was hacked and injected with malicious code. Reputation. Overall quality or good character of something. Achievement. Distinction. The scandal tarnished the reputation of the company. He maintains his reputation by always being honest. It is important to never harm someone's reputation. Myriad. An extremely great number of something. Innumerable. Numberless. Multiple. The library has a myriad of books on various topics. The balloons at the party come in a myriad of colors. There is a myriad of ways to solve this math problem. Coherent. Well-organized and easy to understand. Fathomable. Logical. Orderly. The story had a coherent beginning, middle, and end. His explanation of the concept was coherent and clear. The student's argument was coherent and well supported. Intervention. Act of becoming involved in a situation. Mediation. Involvement. Arbitration. The tutor's intervention helped the student with math. Certain animals can thrive without human intervention. The musician's intervention added harmony to the song. Corroborate. Confirm or give support to a statement. Confirm. Validate. Authenticate. The historian found evidence to corroborate the theory. The feedback will corroborate the coach's assessment. The reviews will corroborate the customer's experience. Auction. Sale of goods to the highest bidder. Bidding. Public sale. Trading. His charity auction raised money for cancer research. The bidder was disappointed when he lost the auction. The highest bidder won the auction for the rare painting. Monopoly. Exclusive control of a commodity or service. Domination. Authority. Control. The syndicates have a monopoly on certain illegal activities. The state monopoly controls all aspects of the energy sector. The state's monopoly on defense ensures national security. Negotiation. Discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. Compromise. Discussion. Mediation. The result of the negotiation was a win-win situation. Poor negotiation skills can lead to bad business deals. The language barrier hampered the negotiation process. Eradicate. To completely get rid of something. Obliterate. Abolish. Erase. Let's eradicate from memory any instances of regret. It's time to reshape the world and eradicate poverty. Education is a powerful tool to eradicate inequality. Refute. Prove a statement to be wrong or false. Deny. Contradict. Disprove. I tried to refute the myth, but people still believed it. If the assertion is invalid, then we need to refute it. The scientist was able to refute the theory with new data. Biased. Showing an unreasonable preference. Unfair. Prejudiced. Influenced. The juror was replaced after expressing a biased opinion. The scientist's research was discredited for being biased. The biased opinion misleads people over the objective view. Subscribe. To agree with or sign an agreement. Agree. Consent. Support. Subscribe for access to our online courses and tutorials. To stay informed, subscribe to our blog for regular articles. Subscribe for updates on the latest technology and gadgets. Confess. Admit that one has committed a crime. Admit. Acknowledge. Disclose. The criminal finally decided to confess to the crime. It's never too late to confess and ask for forgiveness. He was forced to confess under intense interrogation. Primitive. Belonging to simple societies with no industry. Old. Ancient. Prehistoric. Primitive medicine was based on herbs and plants. The uncivilized way of living is considered primitive. The primitive jewelry was made from shells and bones. Prolific. Producing a large amount of something. Abundant. High volume. Plentiful. The prolific inventor has created many useful devices. The scientist was prolific and made many discoveries. If you paint regularly, you may become a prolific artist. Laconic. Style of writing, using very few words. Succinct, concise, reserved. His laconic speech was well received by the audience. She was known for her laconic communication style. The judge delivered a laconic verdict in the courtroom. Obsolete. No longer produced or used, out of date. Outdated, antiquated, ancient. The phonograph is an obsolete way to listen to music. The fax machine is becoming obsolete in the digital age. The typewriter is now obsolete because of computers. Detrimental. Having harmful or damaging effects on. Damaging, pernicious, deleterious. Not being organized can be detrimental to your success. Lack of sleep can be detrimental to your mental health. Eating too much sugar can be detrimental to your teeth. Reasoning. Logical and thoughtful way of thinking. Logic. Thought process. Deduction. The detective used deductive reasoning to solve the case. The math team used logic and reasoning to solve problems. You need to back up your opinions with logical reasoning. Extreme. Reaching a high or the highest degree. Intense. Greatest. Utmost. The desert can be a place of extreme weather conditions. The extreme weather conditions made travel dangerous. The athlete showed extreme dedication to his training. Succinct. Expressed in few words, concise. Concise. Brief. The tweet conveyed a succinct message in just a few words. The report provided a succinct analysis of the market trends. The survey results were presented in a succinct infographic. Stagnation. Lack of activity, growth, or development. Inactivity. Downturn. Inaction. If they don't make changes, it could lead to stagnation. The economy regains motion after a period of stagnation. Autocracies can lead to economic stagnation and inequality. Efficacy. To produce a desired or effective result. Effectiveness. Potency. Usefulness. New studies confirm the efficacy of a healthier lifestyle. The efficacy of using a map can help you find your way. The efficacy of the diet plan is dependent on adherence. Coincidence. Two things happen at the same time by chance. Happy accident. Concurrence. Serendipity. It was a coincidence that we both had the same opinion. By coincidence, we both have a talent for playing the piano. The fact that we both have a fear of spiders is a coincidence. Indispensable. Important and absolutely necessary. Essential. Necessary. Imperative. A good planner is indispensable for staying organized. A sense of humor is indispensable for dealing with stress. Good books are indispensable for expanding your knowledge. Accusation. Claim that someone has done something wrong. Condemnation. Charge. Allegation. The accusation against the politician was not legitimate. The CEO rejects the accusation of misusing company funds. She had to suffer the accusation of cheating on her exams. Dilemma. A problem involving a difficult choice. Predicament. Conundrum. Confusion. He was faced with a dilemma and didn't know what to do. The dichotomy between right and wrong is a moral dilemma. Finding a solution to this dilemma will take some creativity. Vanity. Excessive pride in appearance or achievements. Egotism. Pompousness. Self-regard. Her vanity is evident in the way she talks about himself. A man's vanity is actually in proportion to his ignorance. He described his accomplishments without pride and vanity. Plethora. Large or excessive amount of something. Excess. Overabundance. Too many. The library has a plethora of books to choose from. The internet has a plethora of information on any topic. The company's website has a plethora of customer reviews. Longing. Having or showing a yearning desire. Desire. Yearning. Craving. The musician has a longing for fame and recognition. The poem was a beautiful expression of love and longing. He felt a deep longing to be born again and start afresh. Debunk. To show that something is not true. Challenge. Disprove. Invalidate. We can debunk the myth that all dinosaurs were huge. We can debunk the idea that all spiders are poisonous. It's important to debunk the rumor that mermaids are real. Eliminate. Completely remove or get rid of something. Remove, banish, obliterate. Through training, we can eliminate any knowledge gaps. The coach wants to eliminate bad habits from the team. We need to eliminate the negativity by being positive. Hazard. An unavoidable danger or risk. Jeopardy, peril, menace. The fall water in the campus pond is a health hazard. Not wearing a mask while using chemicals is a hazard. The toxic fumes were a hazard to the workers' health. Algorithm. A set of mathematical instructions. Procedure. Set of rules. Method. An algorithm can help us optimize a process or system. The machine learning algorithm can predict future trends. The scientist used an algorithm to predict the weather. Arbitrary. Based on random choice, not planned. Aimless, irrational, unjustified. If the explanation is arbitrary, it may not be coherent. The International Dateline is an arbitrary division of time. The company's policies seemed arbitrary and inconsistent. Plethora. A large or excessive amount of something. Superfluity, profusion, plenty. The internet has a plethora of information on any topic. The university had a plethora of courses to choose from. There's a plethora of self-help books offering tips and advice. Sporadic. Happening at irregular intervals in time. Irregular, intermittent, occasional. Occurrences of the disease were sporadically reported. The sporadic rain showers interrupted the outdoor event. There are still sporadic outbreaks of violence in the town. Pivotal. Crucial in relation to the development. Critical. Fundamental. Essential. The French Revolution was a pivotal moment in history. He has established himself as a pivotal figure in U.S. politics. Abraham Lincoln was a pivotal figure in American history. Paucity. Having very little or not enough. Scarcity, shortage, deficiency. The paucity of customers caused the business to struggle. The hospital has a paucity of specialized medical equipment. Despite the paucity of time, we managed to finish the project. Hypothesis. A proposed explanation for a set of facts. Assumption, supposition, premise. Our hypothesis is that exercise improves mental health. We need to collect evidence to support our hypothesis. A hypothesis can be used to explain complex phenomena. Conundrum. Confusing and difficult problem or question. Enigma. Puzzle. Mystery. The puzzle was a conundrum that challenged my mind. The decision was a conundrum that had no easy answer. Let's gather more information to clear up the conundrum. Correlation. Connection between two or more things. Association. Reciprocity. Interaction. The study found a correlation between music and mood. There is a correlation between age and memory decline. There is a correlation between education level and income. Empirical. Based on observation or experience. Practical. Experimental. Pragmatic. The scientist cannot be convinced without empirical data. The study's findings were based on empirical observations. Empirical research is based on observation and measurement. Supreme. Highest in rank or authority. Foremost. Predominant. Greatest. The Indian Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The supreme goal of our team is to win the championship. The supreme quality of the product made it a bestseller. Dearth. A scarcity or lack of something. Scarcity. Shortage. Deficiency. The city is in a dearth of public transportation options. The dearth of trust in relationships can lead to problems. The dearth of information made it hard to make a decision. Adequate. Enough or satisfactory for a purpose. Sufficient. Plenty. Enough. The water supply was not adequate during the drought. Concentration can be improved through adequate sleep. The amount of time we have to prepare is not adequate. Captivating. Capable of attracting and holding interest. Arresting. Intriguing. Interesting. The lyrical melody of the piano piece was captivating. The artist's abstract style was unique and captivating. He was under the enchantment of her captivating smile. Regret. A feeling of sadness about something. Remorse. Repentance. Sorrow. The memory of my past mistakes haunts me with regret. I regret not spending more time with my grandparents. Surround yourself with nature and live without regret. Innocent. Not guilty of a crime or offense. Guiltless, blameless, faultless. The innocent boy was falsely accused of cheating. The defendant claimed to be innocent of the crime. The lawyer was adamant that her client was innocent. Enormous. Extremely large in size or amount. Vast. Immense. Gigantic. The potential for growth in this market is enormous. The wave was enormous. It was as tall as a building. The cake was enormous, enough to feed a whole party. Thrive. To prosper, be fortunate or successful. Prosper, flourish, proliferate. A loving family can help a child thrive emotionally. A well-planned budget can help your finances thrive. A supportive coach can help a team thrive and succeed. Yield. Supply or produce something positive. Produce. Generate. Supply. Saving money can yield returns in the form of interest. Genetic modification of crops can increase their yield. Nuclear power plants use nuclear reactions to yield energy. Surplus. An amount that is more than is needed. Additional. Extra. Oversupply. The surplus of oil in the market caused prices to drop. The hotel had a surplus of rooms available for booking. The surplus of tourists in the city led to overcrowding. Evaluate. To determine or set the value of something. Assess. Estimate. Judge. The judge will evaluate the evidence presented in court. When playing sports, evaluate the risk of getting injured. Let's plan back and evaluate the outcomes of our actions. Scheme. A plan for doing or organizing something. Plan. Blueprint. Outline. The government has a scheme to help people in need. The company's marketing scheme was very successful. The bank has a loan scheme to help people buy homes. Desire. A strong wish to have or do something. Long for. Aspiration. Inclination. The authority has expressed a desire to see the report. He has a strong desire to go back to his home country. They have a constant desire for knowledge and learning. Tedious. Tiresome because of length or dullness. Gradual. Unexciting. Monotonous. I find small talk to be quite tedious and uninteresting. The audience was bored by the long and tedious lecture. Learning a new software program can be a tedious process. Dwindle. Diminish gradually in size, amount, or strength. Decline. Lessen. Reduce. The hope of finding a solution began to dwindle away. The river's flow began to dwindle into a small stream. If sustainability falls below consumption, resources dwindle. Reform. Make changes in order to improve it. Amend. Reorganize. Improve. The political party promised to reform the tax system. Some institutions were designed to reform young offenders. The government is trying to reform the healthcare system. Decipher. Find the meaning that is difficult to understand. Unravel. Elucidate. Decode. The detective used a code to decipher the suspect's notes. The clue was written in code and took a while to decipher. The software was designed to decipher complex algorithms. Intensify. To become intense or more intensive. Ameliorate. Upgrade. Escalate. To achieve your goals, you need to intensify your efforts. Adding more fuel to the fire will only intensify the problem. Smoking can intensify inflammation in the respiratory system. Manifest. To make clear or evident to the eye. Demonstrate. Delineate. Present. The beauty of the flowers was manifest in their colors. The intelligence in her brain was manifest in her grades. The athlete's dedication was manifest in his performance. Hinder. To limit the ability to do something. Hamper. Slow down. Constrain. A poor diet can hinder mental and physical growth. Fixed mindsets can hinder collaboration and teamwork. Stupidity can hinder personal growth and development. Generalize. Make a general or broad statement. Oversimplify. Conclude. Surmise. It is unfair to generalize that all women are emotional. It is a mistake to generalize that all introverts are shy. We cannot generalize that all teenagers are irresponsible. Overwhelm. Give a person too much of something. Deluge. Devastate. Bewilder. Mindlessness can be a symptom of stress or overwhelm. Writing in a journal can alleviate feelings of overwhelm. Overtasking can lead to feelings of overwhelm and anxiety. Acknowledge. Admit or accept that something is true. Recognize. Concede. Grant. We must acknowledge the importance of mental health. It's important to acknowledge the hard work of others. It's okay to acknowledge your own misery and seek help. Collapse. To break apart and fall down suddenly. Subside. Break down. Fall down. The computer system could collapse from a virus attack. The weak foundation of the house caused it to collapse. A government could collapse at any time for a political crisis. Proclaim. To announce officially or publicly. Declare. Announce. Indicate. We proudly proclaim our belief in the power of education. Jason has been proclaimed as a candidate for the election. That is something that we should proclaim loud and clear. Mitigate. Make something less severe or less unpleasant. Downplay. Relieve. Alleviate. We can mitigate liability by following safety guidelines. Using a planner can mitigate up to 90% of missed deadlines. The team worked to mitigate the damage caused by the storm. Confine. Keep someone or something within certain limits. Restrict. Limit. Circumscribe. Don't let others confine you beyond your own capabilities. The professor will confine the lecture to the allotted time. Confine before you can become a better version of yourself. Witty. Using words in a clever and funny way. Humorous. Fanciful. Clever. The dialogue in the movie was witty and entertaining. The tone of the advertisement was humorous and witty. The headline of the tweet was witty and made me laugh. Provocative. Causing anger or strong reaction deliberately. Instigative. Annoying. Irritating. His provocative jokes were not appreciated by everyone. The speech was very provocative and made people angry. The provocative documentary shed light on a taboo topic. Obligation. A duty imposed legally or socially. Accountability. Responsibility. Commitment. It is your obligation to be respectful to your teachers. Being responsible for your actions is a moral obligation. It is the employee's obligation to follow company rules. Speculation. Guessing about the possible causes. Conjecture. Assumption. Supposition. The stock market is always a subject of speculation. Sometimes people spread rumors based on speculation. The speculation about the upcoming election is intense. Adamant. Not willing to change an opinion or decision. Inflexible. Stubborn. Unshakable. He remained adamant in his belief that he was right. The athlete was adamant that he would win the race. The lawyer was adamant that her client was innocent. Ominous. Sign of something bad is going to happen. Inauspicious. Menacing. Threatening. Across the sky, the clouds were dark and ominous. The haunted forest had a grim and ominous feeling. The sound of the thunder was worrying and ominous. Analogy. A comparison between things. Likeness. Comparability. Resemblance. An analogy is a way to make complex ideas more relevant. The analogy between the brain and a computer is often used. An analogy is a way to make abstract concepts more concrete. Privilege. Special advantage for a group of people. Advantage. Benefit. Prerogative. Education is not a privilege, it's a right for everyone. He was born into a family of great fortune and privilege. Sometimes we overlook the privilege we have in our lives. Assurance. Being sure or certain about something. Promise. Guarantee. Assertion. A smile can be a sign of confidence and self-assurance. He always maintains his self-assurance no matter what. The test program is an integral part of quality assurance. Legend. A story coming down from the past. Mythology. Folklore. Feritale. The Arthurian legend is a story of love and betrayal. Hercules was a legend, but he was also a real person. The elusive dragon was a creature of legend and myth. Etiquette. Customs and rules for polite behavior. Decorum. Convention. Good manners. Courtesy is an important part of social etiquette. Follow the etiquette rules to show respect to others. A basic rule of etiquette is to say please and thank you. Vapid. Lacking significance or liveliness. Lifeless. Tedious. Insipid. The vapid poetry failed to evoke any real emotions. The fashion show was vapid and lacked any elegance. The speech was vapid and lacked any real inspiration. Elevate. Raise something or lift something up. Heighten. Advance. Upgrade. Drinking caffeine can elevate heart rate temporarily. The swimmer had to elevate his speed to win the race. The astronaut will elevate into space in a rocket ship. Paucity. Having very little or not enough. Scarcity. Shortage. Dearth. Due to the paucity of rain, the crops were withering. The town has a paucity of affordable housing options. The country is in a paucity of renewable energy sources. Terminate. To bring or come to a stopping point. Finish. Wrap up. The contract will terminate towards the end of the year. In order to terminate the service, you must inactivate it. The company had to terminate the employee for stealing. Elaborate. Contains a lot of careful detail. Intricate. Detailed. Thorough. Please elaborate on why you think that's a bad choice. The set pieces in the opera were elaborate and grandiose. Can you elaborate on the main points of your presentation? Homogeneous. Describes things that are similar kind. Identical. Alike. Uniform. The distribution of the stars in the sky is homogeneous. The distribution of the trees in a forest is homogeneous. The group was homogeneous in their socioeconomic status. Courteous. Respectful or considerate in manner. Polite. Sociable. Respectful. We should always be respectful in a courteous manner. Being courteous can make you feel good about yourself. Holding the door open for someone is a courteous habit. Retain. Continue to have or keep something. Keep. Maintain. Continue. You can retain more information if you study regularly. The bonus issue is a way to retain talented employees. The athlete needs to retain his stamina for the final race. Organic. Things that are natural or related to nature. Biological. Natural. Chemical-free. Organic chocolate is made with organic cocoa beans. Non-organic produce may contain harmful pesticides. The use of organic food is becoming more widespread. Testimony. A formal written or spoken statement. attestation, affidavit, affirmation. The lawyer inquires about the witness's testimony. The victim's testimony was powerful and convincing. The witness testimony helped to acquit the accused. Digression. Moving away from the main subject. Deviation, divergence, bypass. The speaker made a quick digression to clarify a point. He used the digression to illustrate a real-life example. We must avoid digression while discussing an important issue. Distinct. Real and different from each other. Separate. Particular. Contrasting. The two paintings had distinct styles and techniques. Coca-Cola has a distinct taste that many people love. The two cultures had distinct traditions and customs. Legitimate. Allowed according to rules or laws. Authorized, licensed, sanctioned. It's legitimate to have different opinions and beliefs. The lawyer's argument was legitimate and convincing. The company's policies must be legitimate and ethical. Violation. Action that breaks or acts against something. Infringement, breach, lawbreaking. Disobeying orders is a violation of the code of conduct. Cheating in an exam is a violation of academic integrity. The employee was terminated for a harassment violation. Compensate. Give someone money in recognition of the loss. Balance. Counteract. Neutralize. The airline will compensate you for any lost luggage. The company will compensate for the delay in delivery. The store will compensate you if the product is defective. Adverse. Having a negative or harmful effect. Threatening, menacing, hostile. The project was delayed due to an adverse situation. The adverse effects of smoking can damage your lungs. The adverse economic situation affected many families. Retention. The ability to keep or continue something. Conserving, upholding, protection. Taking notes can enhance your retention of information. The economist studies the retention of wealth in society. Using technology can improve your retention of new skills. Abuse. Cruel and violent treatment of a person. Maltreatment, violence, bullying. Cyberbullying is a form of abuse that happens online. Abusing someone's trust is a form of emotional abuse. Abuse of power is a common problem in many countries. Inclination. A person's natural tendency or urge. Propensity. Proneness. Tendency. She has an inclination to practice yoga and meditation. The natural inclination of the child was to explore and learn. They have neither the time nor the inclination to help the poor. Standpoint. An attitude to a particular issue. Viewpoint. Perspective. Outlook. From a scientific standpoint, climate change is a big issue. Let's look at the questions from an economic standpoint. From a practical standpoint, the idea looks strange and unusual. Volatile. Likely to change suddenly and unexpectedly. Inconstant. Changeable. Unstable. The volatile economy caused many businesses to struggle. The volatile stock market caused many investors to panic. The volatile weather conditions made it unsafe to travel. Consensus. General agreement in a group of people. Agreement. Like-mindedness. Accord. The tribal leadership was based on merit and consensus. Reaching a consensus can be difficult in a group setting. The scientific consensus is reached through rigorous debate. Specimen. A part of animal, plant, or piece of a mineral. Sample. Illustration. Embodiment. The museum had a specimen of a dinosaur bone on display. The specimen was carefully examined under the microscope. The science department imported a rare specimen for research. Compulsory. Required by law or must be done. Mandatory. Obligatory. Requisite. Following the dress code is compulsory at some events. The compulsory retirement age is 65 in most companies. Attendance at the meeting is compulsory for all employees. Legend. A story coming down from the past. Folklore. Mythology. Tradition. Folklore can be used to explain the origins of a legend. The Arthurian legend is a beloved part of Western culture. The course is about fables and legends in ancient literature.